So the Xbox Series X was just leaked on Twitter via what we can only assume is another controlled leak. I say that because there's just no way that somebody's getting their hands on a pretty official prototype and being able to release it all over the internet as a quotation mark accident. Now I say that because it just seems so very staged and another way of Microsoft gaining press. Albeit it's working, so we're going to talk about it. Now, the thing that really bugs me the most about what I can see from these pictures is that it really doesn't look like Microsoft is trying. And if this is going to end up being the final design, it's pretty much everything I expected it to be. You see, in 2013, they came out with the Xbox One, as you guys know, and it had chrome, it had a touch sensor button, it had gloss plastic that looked really good. Yeah, I know, it's a fingerprint magnet, but who's sitting there putting fingerprints all over their console, moving it all the time? Not very many people. Typically, you have a console, you sit it on a shelf, and it's good. If it collects dust, don't be lazy, get a duster and dust it off. Typically, it was a very premium looking console, and I really miss the fact that, Microsoft used to try. And now looking at this, it just feels like a very cheap console. It looks cheap, I should say. Now, the internals obviously are where they put their effort, and that's all good and fine, except for the fact that, as many of you already know, Microsoft has confirmed that they're not going to be coming out with any first-party exclusives specifically for Series X. Instead, they're going to, be generous and give everyone who has an Xbox the ability to play these games, or an Xbox One to be specific. That's bad news in my opinion. Reason being is because you're starting a brand new generation of games, you're coming out with a brand new console. At the very least, you should be able to make a very console specific offering. I don't think that there should be anything wrong with that at a first party level, but at the same point in time, you should also, make other games for everybody else. I think divvying up the two teams would have been smart instead of just having one team make the games for basically every single kind of Xbox. Because again, these new consoles are running on x86 architecture, and I can only imagine that would present some sort of challenge as far as optimization, especially when you're trying to scale to an Xbox One and an Xbox One S and everything in between. It seems very sloppy, and like there's a lot of room for error to happen here with the optimization of these games. Now, I could be wrong. Speculation on my part. After all, Microsoft is a software company. Maybe they figured something out. Good if they did. But honestly, I'm not really biting to this whole brand new Xbox thing because it just kind of seems like they're just out for a cash grab. We all know that their big moneymaker is Game Pass. That's where they're putting all of their attention. The subscription service, that and Play Anywhere to get you to buy digital keys off of their Windows Store and be able to use that. Basically, they want you to go PC. They genuinely, factually want you to go PC, and they want you to buy a subscription service and just keep letting it renew because that's what they're going to do to make their money. The hardware part of things seem like they're really just kind of cutting costs as much as they can because they don't really care about the Xbox brand anymore. They want to build up an ecosystem that rivals something like Apple or something like that. I really honestly don't like this new Xbox. The new Xbox isn't a brand at all. It's just more like, I guess, like an identityless console machine. Like, the whole idea behind Xbox and why I personally gravitated towards it, of course, everybody has their own opinions about this. My reason for gravitating to Xbox is that we had Halo, we had Gears, we had Forza, we had exclusive games. Like, even with the Xbox One, as bad as the release was, Rise Son of Rome had me so freaking hyped for that console, dude. Xbox One S, the only reason I bought it was because they said they would have Scalebound. Those exclusive first-party reasons to buy those consoles, and doing a whole stage demo on Scalebound was dirty, especially when they just pulled it like it was nothing. And my point is, the console should have seen some sort of exclusivity. It should have seen a launch exclusive that made this console stand out, and it's not going to happen. You're going to buy this really powerful console, and essentially it's the paperweight out the gate because there's no real optimization happening for this device. It's like, yeah, sure, they'll tweak and take into account some parameters of its power, but they're not necessarily going to build a game around its power, and that's the problem here. You're paying over $500, I would imagine, not to have a game built around the power of this device. They're talking it's going to be more powerful than PlayStation 5, 12 teraflops or whatever it's up to now. I don't even keep up with this trash anymore. And I say trash because at this point, that's what it is. This is just trash because Microsoft could do so much better, as we've seen them do better. We've seen them come out with a gloss finish, chrome touch buttons. I mean, we've seen them try so much harder with a console release than this. And it just really seems like this leak now on Twitter of the prototype version of this console is just another way of saying, hey, by the way, we have this console and maybe buy it, maybe be excited to buy it. Because there is really no other reason to be excited to buy it outside of rumors and hype. And I think they're using the community of gamers to go against one another and to hype each other up into buying this machine. Now listen, I understand full and well if you're that guy that has friends on Xbox, you've spent thousands of dollars on Xbox One's games and all that good stuff, you're not going to just get rid of Xbox One games and get rid of your friends. I get that. But I mean, honestly, as an Xbox gamer that has done the same thing, personally, I think it's worth it to just make the switch to PC, since that's what Microsoft wants anyway. Simply put, I did that. I went to PC and I'm happy. I'm very happy. Hell, just recently today, upgraded my RAM to 32 gigabytes and I'm breezing through everything on my RTX 2060 Super in 1440p res, and I can GPU scale it to whatever real resolution I really want. I mean, I can't tell a difference once I add some sharpening filters over it. It's fantastic. But none of those options are going to exist on this brand new superpowered beast, quotation marks around that, because at the end of the day, it's not for that. It's maybe you'll get upscaled 8K, maybe you won't. Maybe they'll take advantage of some games and give you some graphical settings like a PC, and maybe they won't. It just, there's too much not being said about this machine for us to be in January. You would imagine them to say, hey, listen, this is a concrete what we're planning to do with this machine outside of like no exclusives. That's possibly the worst news they could have given about this device. And honestly speaking, if you're excited about the Xbox Series X, go for it, be about it. But this new leak on Twitter has me feeling like it's just another publicity stunt for Microsoft because they truly have no other way of selling this console. But I'd love to know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching the #1 brand in honesty, and until the next video, I'll see you guys later.